Today, we are discussing all about what is good and by virtue, what is bad content on Instagram. We are going to kind of go around the round table, share at least one tip or an idea of what we are considering good and bad practices on Instagram so that ultimately you can learn how to move forward with your own Instagram strategy and content creation. So I'm going to pose this question to you first, Liz, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
What do you consider good content on Instagram?
Yeah, I mean, I think good content really, lies with the, whose channel is being posted on, and it's content that achieves what you want it to achieve for your brand. I think too many people get wrapped up in, the vanity metrics of followers or, view count and that sort of thing. And the fact of the matter is sometimes those reels don't accomplish what you actually want as, a small business owner online. Conversion content that actually makes people, decide to buy from you generally tanks on Instagram from like a traditional metrics perspective. It's not the content that's going to go viral. It's not the content that's going to get a million views, but that's the content that's going to get sales revenue. Whereas content for growth, might work with the traditional metrics, but I think, only you behind the scenes really know if your content is doing what you want it to do. And if your content is doing what you want it to do, it's good content for you, for your brand. Now, from kind of the viewer user perspective, if you're seeing bad content, that kind of just means you need to give the algorithm some more indicators about what you like to see and what you don't want to see. So I think, I think it's really, a behind the scenes decision as a small business owner is what is good content for you and your brand.
I like that. You're self-defining your goals of what is good content. And I think that's really key because sometimes, as you kind of alluded to, we can kind of get caught up in the vanity metrics. And that's when we let our other people's influences dictate what is good content.
Love Liz's response. Let's start there. But secondly, good content is in the eye of the scroller. If you think about it, depends on who's scrolling. For me, I'm not into makeup like that, so I'm not going to watch a makeup tutorial. But for someone else, that's amazing. They love that content. They want to see the contour, the lines, everything. So it really just depends on the individual. But as a business owner, I have to start there. And that's why I said I agree with Liz in the fact that good content is literally being able to achieve the results you want for your business. And you can leverage Instagram, whether it's TikTok, LinkedIn, etc. For me, Instagram's my place. That is my place where I've been able to attract some amazing people and work with these clients. And you would be surprised how many people are like, well, why is my content not leading to these sales? And well, what is your main primary focus? Well, I need more views, or I need more. And I'm like, do you need more views, or do you actually, need more conversions? So there's a difference between the two. So like Liz said, it depends on your goals. If you're here to just kind of post, have fun, that's different. If your goal is to grow or get brand deals, completely different. If your goal is business, I want to make sales, I want to create impact, because for me, it was about impact and sales. Those are my number two. Like, one, impact. I always want to be able to help someone and serve my audience. Number two, sales. I want to make sure I'm making money for my business, not only to sustain it, but to actually serve more and more people. And that's the goal for me personally. It looks like to me. But I believe good content is really just, like I said, in the eye of the scroller. It depends on your purpose there.
I love that line. I actually had to write it down. Eye of the scroller. I love that quick, nice wordplay. I think that's very well stated because it really does hit exactly what you're stating. How we utilize the platform itself. Sometimes, even as a content creator, we might just be in a doom scroll and we just want a little bit of entertainment. So we're not really focused on, learning and stuff like that. So it really does depend on that point of perspective of where we are at that point of the day, perhaps even. We play different roles depending on what we are currently using the platform for. I love that aspect of it.
Both of those answers spot on for sure. Really alluding to the point that we're here to reach our goals and to connect, right? Those two things are so important. And so when it comes to good content, we have to think about what's going to stop somebody's scroll, what's going to get their attention and keep their attention. And that, like was said before, is going to be different for everybody. And every business, every creator, every niche that you're in is going to look a little different. But no matter what, we have to focus on getting our content to evoke a certain emotion in the viewer. All content, even if it's just funny entertainment, that humor, that uplifting, that's still an emotion, that's still a feeling that we're provoking in somebody else through our content. So when we are thinking about what's good content, what makes somebody feel a certain thing and making sure that that feeling aligns with your goals, right? When we're trying to make sales, we have to dig deep into their pain points, their goals, their desires. That's feelings that we're stirring up in somebody. When we're looking to grow, we're looking to probably entertain, be relatable, be someone that makes them want to be on this app. Because I know there's a lot of content out there that pushes people away. And like Liz said, that might be an issue with your algorithm. You've got to train the algorithm a little bit better. But ultimately, you know, what is going to get people to feel a certain way and keep that attention through lots of different small psychology hacks that you can do to keep people engaged in your content.
I had to write that down as well in regards to the emotional aspect. I think a lot of people are so focused on just creating the content, you forget like what's the purpose behind the content. And as you kind of alluded to right there, the emotional aspect in regards to how is that content going to be received. I think that's really key. I'm going to kind of like wrap up a lot of the answers that you said, because you guys kind of hit a lot of the things that I was going to respond to in regards to this question. And I actually took note because specifically to certain keywords that all three of you said. Liz mentioned goals, Lindsay said impact, and Megan said emotion. And it kind of wraps up my whole answer, because I feel like there are three types of content that does all three. And I always feel like when I see good content, it's either one of those type of pieces of content, or sometimes it's what I call great content because it blends more than one or even all three. And those things are usually educational or informative, entertaining, or inspirational slash motivational. I feel like if you create content that falls under one of those columns, you are more likely to get an emotional response or create an impact to the audience depending on your goals. See how I wrapped up all three words that you guys just did there? But I feel like you're able to like really connect with your audience. And there's that whole term, valuable content. People question what is valuable content. Well, I feel like valuable content is what your audience is expecting to receive from you, all around that umbrella of the shared interest or niche that you guys are, that your followers are following you for. So I feel like those three columns, I'll repeat them again: entertainment, inspiration slash motivational, as well as educational slash informative. And just to kind of give a few examples, you know, like I said, I like to share memes and skits that would be considered entertaining. Educational might be more like, what's the latest Instagram feature that's coming out, or a special announcement of a product that you might have, as well as motivational and inspiring. We see those speeches all the time, or even just a simple quote. You know, it could just be a reel and they don't even have somebody talking. It's just a quote that's read on the screen. Those type of contents connect a lot with your audience. It brings value because you're creating an impact. But if you can start to merge some of them, I think you really get to the next level of creating good content. That's what I would consider good content. I think all of us kind of wrapped up our own perspectives of what good content is. So that's how we're going to answer that first question for you guys.
Yeah, I'm actually curious because speaking about emotions, and also what we talk about a lot on the show is what helps with your overall growth and reach is getting a lot of sends, right? So we want our content to be shared with other people. So curious from everybody in the audience, do you like to send more entertainment content, or do you like to send more emotional or funny content? Let us know in the comments there. What do you send mostly to other people?